Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Good day! Piyogatarsangan, Assalamualaikum at magandang araw ulit sa lahat. Guys, pagpatuloy ko na naman po yung ating Claiming Her Back Chapter 7. Chapter 7 na po tayo sa Claiming Her Back. So, try ko po siyang ipagpatuloy sa Chapter 8 kung kaya po. Okay, Chapter 7. I got a memo after my class that the dean had called us for a meeting. I quickly gathered my things and headed to the boardroom. Everyone had already been sitting and giggling, and it was really odd to see the teachers acting this way. I sat beside Mr. James, a linguistic teacher. "Hello, Miss Gray," he winked at me. "Hi, Arnold. What makes you so giddy today?" I asked while laughing. "Well, you just choose to sit beside me and that already made my day." He babbled while I chuckled silently. "Arnold has been asking me out, but I always refuse, telling him politely that I am off limits and I have a baby to take care of. When will you give me a chance to take you out?" he bluntly asked. Probably never," I answered straightforwardly. "Arnold, we've talked about this already." Yeah. But I'm not giving up." Our conversation was interrupted when the dean stood in front to start presiding the meeting. He was talking about the upcoming accreditation and some activities to be held within the month. I was only listening with one ear. I was busy texting my brother, who was watching my son at home. My son made a chaos while he was feeding him. He left the baby food on the high chair table to turn on the TV, but when he came back, my baby already dived his face to the plate like a dog. My baby even laughed while his uncle cleaned his face. Franz took a picture of his messy, chubby face and sent it to me, causing me to laugh hard. My colleagues were staring at me, probably wondering why I laughing. I just muttered, "Sorry." This lunchtime, Mr. David Miller will be joining us all, so make sure to be present this noon, and for those who have not met him yet, you will have your chance later. Dean Patrick spoke to the crowd that has majority of women giggling. I was stunned upon hearing his name. He is here again? Lunchtime came so fast. My last class had just finished, so I would have the rest of my day to spend with my baby. I went to the dining hall where the gathering was being held. People were all busy chatting and eating and chatting like they had never seen each other for a long time. I took a plate and went to the center table. After I gave birth to my son, I already became so picky with foods. It's not that I don't like them, I just don't feel eating much. "Are you getting fussy with the foods now?" a voice came from behind, and when I turned around, I jumped upon seeing the mighty David Miller trailing behind me. I looked around, and there were many people staring at us, most likely staring at him. "Good afternoon, sir," I said while I continued moving around the table. "Don't call me sir. You know I hate it, especially coming from your mouth," he detested while I continued putting foods on my plate. Before I could respond to him, there were 4 females swarming towards him, introducing their names, but he will surely forget their names as soon as he turned away. They shook hands and the women were asking him random questions. I didn't hear much of their conversation anymore. I chose the farthest table so no one would bother me while eating. He was still busy being entertained while holding a glass of wine on his hand. I finished my food, and when I stood up, Dean Patrick came to me together with David Miller. Miss Gray, thank you for your generosity. Mr. Miller said you offered to give him a tour around the school. I guess you don't have classes anymore this afternoon. Can you possibly do it after lunch? I was speechless. When did I ask him such offer? Why is he doing this? I thought we'd despise. Sure, no problem, sir. I was hesitant. Lead the way, Miss Gray, David said with a sexy smirk. This is getting crazy. We went around the campus. I kept my professional posture and tried to distance myself from his body as much as possible. He has still the ability to make me shiver, and honestly, it's still working on me. Thank you for being part of the university, sir, I said firmly. It's always been my pleasure, Miss Gray. He paused for a while, looking at me seductively. Olivia. Before he could say anything, my phone rang, and when I checked the caller ID, it was my brother calling. I answered it without hesitation. Hello, Franz? Livy, Nico has been crying. He won't stop. I don't know what to do. This is the first time my brother called in distress. He always called me, but it was all about my baby doing funny stuffs. I panic. I can hear his wailing on the other line. My baby sometimes cry for no definite reason, but my brother always managed to calm him down. I distanced myself from David. Can you bring the phone to his ear? I waited for 2 seconds. Hello, baby. Mama is here. He cries. His cries stop. Mama will be coming home now, okay? Please don't cry, honey. I don't hear him crying anymore. Livy, he is not crying anymore. Yay! My brother spoke with happiness in his voice. I'll be heading home now. Thanks, Franz. Then I ended the call. Whose baby are you talking to? I heard a voice from behind and I turned to face him. It's none of your business, Mr. Miller. I angrily responded and walked away, leaving him alone. I was stopped by a hand holding my wrist tightly. It's my fucking business because you are my wife, he said in baritone voice. Was? Now not anymore. After you literally threw me out of your house? I left him there and I didn't look back. Itutuloy ko na po yung ating chapter 8. So, stay tuned. I quickly headed home by taxi. It was raining hard. When I entered the apartment, I was welcomed with Franz holding my baby, sobbing silently. Mama's here. I took him from Franz and rocked him gently while kissing his forehead, and he wiggled lightly. What happened to my baby? Did you miss Mommy? I called him. He just looked at me with his watery eyes and he tried reaching my face. I leaned closer to him and he kissed my lips. So adorable. I love you, baby. Now tell me where it hurts. He is still few months old, so I don't expect him to answer, but instead he curled up his body closer to my chest. My precious baby weighs like a feather. I always want to carry him. Livy, is it okay if I leave for now? I got a call from the office. I'll be back as soon as I can. Franz kissed my forehead. All is well, Franny. Thank you for watching him. You know I don't accept thank you from you. It's always what I want, and it's always my job to protect you and this cute little baby. He smiled at me. I love you, Franz, and I love you too. He turned to my son and kissed his forehead. And I love you, my little monster. My baby wiggled. After my brother left, we made our way to the kitchen. He was no longer sobbing, but his eyes were red from crying. I made myself a coffee and I took the cake from the fridge. I settled down on the chair and I frequently fed him the chocolate syrup to his lips, and he always giggled. We were disturbed by someone knocking on the door. It could be Franz. Probably he left something again. I took my baby with me and headed to the front door. What are you doing here? I could not describe my feelings right now. David is standing in front of me. He is still in his expensive suit while another man is holding an umbrella beside him. His posture made him look fierce, and his sexy eyes were not looking at me, he was looking at my baby. May I come in? I didn't answer. I'm sure you don't want your neighbors to wonder why I'm standing outside your house. You have no business here. Please leave. I politely responded with sarcasm in my voice. My baby giggled, probably to see who am I speaking to. I cuddled him closer, but he was already extending his hands like he wanted to reach by the man in front of us. He was babbling baby words to David. David came closer and he touched his cheeks with tender and loving eyes. My baby pulled his fingers. The thunder howled so strong and loud, making my baby jump in fear. He hugged my neck tightly and I whispered soothing words to him. David turned to the man holding the umbrella. I'll be fine here. You can return now, he said in husky voice, and the man left right away. David turned to us and he enclosed us by his arms to get us inside the house and gently closed the door behind. He removed his coat and turned his gaze towards me. May I take him? I didn't notice myself nodding. He took my baby to his arms and my baby didn't protest. Instead, he touched his father's face and kissed him in his lower jaw. My baby, David whispered with loving voice. He was hugging him closer and kissing him on his head. My son looked very sleepy and feeble, probably after crying hard. David was humming a song to him and my baby gently closed his eyes. I tried keeping my tears from bursting. This is painful. I know I have been selfish of keeping my baby a secret to him, but I cannot live if I lost my baby. I walked to the kitchen so I could wipe my tears without him noticing. I put the cake back to the fridge. The storm was getting terrible outside. Where will I put him? David asked softly. I strode towards them. I tried taking him away from his father's arms, but my baby protested and cuddled his body closer to his father. Let me, David suggested sweetly. I could not stand his sweetness. It pained me more. I led him to the bedroom. I noticed his eyes scanning the room. He must be surprised of how small our bedroom is compared to his bathroom. Your room is cute. Seriously, this man found the stuffed toys and colorful full curtains cute. It's so comfy in here, he added while gently putting my baby on the bed. I need to talk to you, he said while touching my cheeks, but I turned my face away and stepped out of the bedroom. Okay guys, natapos na po ang ating chapter 8. So 7 and 8 po ang natapos. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment po kung nagustuhan niyo po ang ating story. Sa masusunod po, mas gaganda pa po ang ating mga story. So, pwede rin po kayong mag-send sa akin ng mga story nyo, love story, novel, kung ano pong gusto nyong babasahin kong story. Pasensya na po kayo kung ganito akong magbasa kasi baguhan po talaga ako. Sanay po ako magbasa ng mind reader lang. Hindi po ako sanay magbasa talaga ng bino-voice out ko po. So, thank you po sa pakikinig. Sana po mag-subscribe po kayo.